Welcome to the RSP Film Room. I'm Matt Waldman with the Rookie Scouting Portfolio. Today we're going to take an extended look at one of my favorite running backs in this class. No, not Nick Chubb, but University of Georgia's Sony Michel. And when you look at the University of Georgia backfield over the past 5-6 years, I looked at this class and thought to myself when it first started coming in that it might rival in terms of talent what we saw from the University of Miami when in the 90s and early 2000s, backs like Willis McGahee, Clinton Portis, Edgerrin James, Frank Gore. And Sony Michel reminds me a little bit of Frank Gore. And we're going to take a look at some of those traits that he has that makes him a good NFL prospect in this matchup with Notre Dame. Let's get started. Now, the first play that we're going to watch is really just him working up the middle and getting square for his quarterback in pass pro. What I like is that he looks downfield to see what's open in the zone here. His quarterback flushes to the left, and he tries to present a target for his quarterback here in case Fromm decides to throw. When that doesn't happen, watch him work upfield and deliver a shoulder to number 9. That's an aware football player. This is a team player, someone who obviously he understands his surroundings. He knows when to transition from receiver on a scramble drill to blocker. It's a very good first look at a player when you're talking about awareness and on-field intelligence. Now we're going to watch him with a direct snap. This is from a 3-by-1 receiver set with an wing back over here, winding back to the right side. This is against a nickel look. And this is a play where I would say of all the plays I've seen thus far of this game, this is probably the worst look for him. But it's still not too bad. You can see that he knows where the crease is. He's got a left tackle working to the outside. He has his guard working downfield to the linebacker. So he's assuming he's going to have an open crease here. But you can see this slot defender working downhill inside the hash, and he's going to get met up right there. I would have liked to see him just split this downfield, and if he gets wrapped by number 99, the defensive tackle coming off the center, fine. He just falls forward. Instead, he's a little more confident in his ability to make someone miss than what you'd probably like to see when you're thinking about the NFL lens. How does this project to the NFL? Here, you'd probably want to see him instead of make this little move where he's going to get wrapped up, you'd rather see him just hit that crease and fall forward. Instead, he still manages 3 yards on the play, falling forward through a wrap, but a little bit of wasted movement when he should have just been a little bit more efficient. But I like that he carries the ball under the outside arm and that he's falling forward and he still makes some positive yards here. Now, this looks like it should be an inside zone where you're going to have what it looks like he's expecting is he's going to be either the left guard either thought he was going to take this defensive end, or he thought this was going to be a pass pro play instead of a run play. Because to me, if it's inside zone, he should be working on the center, and that allows the center to work up to the middle linebacker. But you don't see that. Left guard has no one to block. Now Michel's working downhill as if this is an inside zone, and when he sees the linebacker here and he spots that his guard is really kind of lost with where to go, he just kind of taps him on the backside, slides to the inside where the gap is, and takes what's there. And I think this is a smart play. He doesn't panic that it looks like there's a blown assignment or miscommunication with this left guard. Instead, he just makes do with what's there, presses to that side, cuts back inside, takes on the linebacker, and pushes forward to get 2 yards. I think this is, again, an example of his intelligence and ability to roll with the punches and understand that in terms of down and distance situation, this is the best he's going to get given the scenario. That's a mature run by Sony Michel. Now this is fun because now you have him as a cut blocker, and it's going to be very important that in the NFL that you can pass protect. If you're going to have a shot of being able to see the field early, most offenses are going to ask you to pass protect. Sometimes they'll do some special things around that. We saw that this year with Kareem Hunt and the Chiefs, where they're not asking him to pass protect more than maybe 1 to 2 times a game at most, and usually on the outside or backside of a play as a cut blocker And when you look at Michel, he can certainly show that he cut blocks here. You have the middle linebacker coming up the crease. You see him work across here, and he gets good height on the legs and hips, and he comes across that body and folds over that linebacker who's trying to use his arms to brace the contact, but ends up getting folded over. And because he's able to hit him high enough, the linebacker can't fall over top or leap over top and get into the passing lane to disrupt the quarterback. This hit forces the linebacker to stop exactly where the collision point is, opens a nice lane, prevents any pressure, and you at least get a throw downfield here, even though it's in. All right, another inside zone. You have the right guard in the center. And look at Michel. He's going to be keying on this middle linebacker. If the linebacker goes to the right, Michel's going to go off the left side of the center shoulder. If the linebacker fills to that left side, he's going to work the right side of that double team. He reads that right here during the exchange. He sees where the linebacker is. Linebacker heads right, so he works through the hole that's opened up by the center and the left guard. He works through that pretty well, and you can see the burst is pretty good. He's able to work past this outside linebacker, even though just as he does, he has a collision that's on the way with the safety. And I love the shoulder dip here. He's able to get his pads low enough, even though the safety gets lower than Michel. Michel's still able to get his pads pretty low to begin to drive, and he's keeping that ball-carrying arm free from the contact. He's got the ball under his left arm. He leads with one shoulder, and he's able to work through the contact, nearly break the tackle before he's wrapped by the cornerback and falls forward for a 13-yard gain. A lot of momentum there on the play. But, he makes good with that momentum, and he leads with that right forearm. So you can see there's the linebacker again coming to the right side. So he dips to the left. He sees that defensive back all the way. He lowers the boom. He's able to slide through most of that wrap and then fall forward for more yards. Well done. All right, and another inside zone. We know inside zone when we're looking at a center guard combo usually here. This time the center is slanting to the left, and he's going to work through to the linebacker up the hash. And you're going to see Michel here. He's going to take the exchange. He's eyeing this linebacker who's coming through the crease where his wingback is going to slide inside and try and block. Now, Michel does a good job of pressing that crease. He gets towards the back of his right guard and gets close as he can so that he can influence this crease and allow this block to get set up. And then he makes the cut, and because he does that, the wingback's able to take on that linebacker and move him to the inside. You'll see it here. This wingback works inside, and the press forces the linebacker further inside, and that allows the wingback to just push that linebacker further into the pile and open the crease for Michel. See it right about here. Slow it down for you a bit. You see in that press, here comes the linebacker sliding in towards the left. There's the wingback hooking him. And then he's able to drive that defender inside, and that allows the hole to open up. And Michel counts on that to happen, works through it, and is able to extend for nearly 4 yards on the play. Actually, a little more than 4. Good job carrying the ball under his left arm, but he also covers the ball up with his right arm. So well done play. I mean, this is anticipation of how the blocking scheme works. He understands this blocking scheme, and you'd be surprised how many backs don't really show that maturity to understand their blocking scheme. And part of that maturity is, again, pressing the crease, getting downhill, angling it in a way that influences that linebacker so that it maximizes the opportunity for a good block. And that's what happens here. All right, let's move on to the next, see it in real time. Now, this is a nice display of physical prowess from Michel, because you're going to see a good cut downhill. You've got the one back working towards the left side, and you're going to see Michel take the ball, the exchange here, and look to make a dip to the outside. So he dips with that outside leg working east-west. And when a back can go transition from east-west to north-south with one step like that and get downhill and accelerate through the cut, that's good footwork. That's footwork, hip flexibility. Watch that plant right there. And he gets the first down on the play. I like it. And I also like that as he makes that plant and cuts through here, he's going to spy the safety coming in here. And he tries to dip this across. He shoves his lead blocker, his left guard, further downfield so that he can at least get some yardage. And he's able to get a push with an assist from a couple of his linemen at the end there. Now, this doesn't look like much of a play, but I love what I see here. And let me explain to you why. Once again, you're going to see him get the read, and he's going to read the linebacker coming upfield through that crease. And it's coming through the inside shoulder of the guard. He dips outside of that shoulder, and he's able to get past that penetration. And then watch how his pads get under the defensive tackle who's coming free of his block. And when he gets under the pads there, that good pad location, he's able to drive forward on this play and earn 3 yards on this, where he could have easily been stopped at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. Could have been stopped behind the line of scrimmage by the middle linebacker if he doesn't read this correctly. And then he could have gotten stopped here if he didn't have great pad level, and he's got good strength. He could have been stopped for about a yard here. A lot of backs would have. He's able to drive forward and extend. So that shows you his reading of the scheme, his agility to just kind of make a quick adjustment. It's more about footwork than it is agility. The ability to just adjust his feet during the read phase and slide to that outside, and then the pad level leverage and leg drive and effort. This too is one of my favorite plays. And this just shows you anticipation and agility. You're going to see again, you got one of the runners working to the outside here, and this runner is also going to be, it's who I think it is. I think it's DeAndre Swift. If it's DeAndre Swift, let me just tell you folks, he's also going to be in these breakdowns someday as long as he stays healthy, because he's another reason why UGA's backs over the past 5 years might compare one day talent-wise to that Miami crew. But anyway, back to Michel. You're going to watch this play unfold. As he takes the exchange, you're going to see the defensive tackle come free of his block into the backfield. And you can see Michel's reading this. Unblocked, coming downhill, one cut. Just plants with that inside foot, and he turns away and hits downhill. This is not where the play's supposed to go. He's supposed to be heading where the middle of his line slanting to the right. But he reads the field first. When he sees that develop, he improvises, he adapts, he overcomes, comes downfield. Good burst past both the defensive end and this edge contain, the linebacker. And then he's able to then bend his hips. This is it's a subtle thing that you see good running backs do, is they're able to bend their hips at top speed to kind of swerve back to the outside and then extend that play for another 3 to 4 yards. Now this play reminds me of the first play of the game. And the reason it does is that you're going to see him work towards the outside, anticipate that this defensive back is going to be climbing inside the hash, and instead of trying to bounce it outside like he did before, he just hits it up the middle here and tries to get what he can. So see him work towards that outside, and he sees the receiver clear this defensive back. And as he bounces that outside and realizes that this defender's going to get out here, instead of heading east-west to try and work around him, he just goes north-south and cuts downhill right here. And it's a small crease. He ends up taking contact. He gets wrapped high. He spins through it and extends and gets about 4, nearly 5 yards on this play. But would he have earned more if he bounced it outside? And I'd say when he plants inside here, he knows that this defender was free because he made that mistake earlier in the game. Let's watch it and see. You're going to see it from the first play of this game. I believe this is it. No, it's not the first. It's the second play. Second play of this game. Here's that defender again. This time, instead of getting it downhill, he tries to bounce it outside, and he gets in trouble there, and the gain is limited to about 2-3 yards. So there's that play. Now we look at, and he remembers this. So again, we're talking about a player who's smart and understands past situations and turns them into positives when he made mistakes before, because here's that slot defender again. Nope, let me cut it downhill, get the most that I can out of it. That's why I like that play. Back, when you look at Sony Michel, you're seeing someone who has the makings of a good pass protector, someone who can get yards after contact, a player who's got enough burst to get to the edge. He can make multiple moves and create and make people miss. He has a track record of being a good receiver, and though we didn't see that really in great effect this game, he reads the line of scrimmage well and makes mature decisions between the tackles, and he has some good power. And when you look at this guy, you can see some of that Frank Gore type of game to him. Smart, skilled, balance, gets what's there and a little bit more often. You can't go wrong with that. Thanks again for watching. For more RSP Boiler Room videos, you can check out my YouTube channel, the RSP Film Room, and my blog, www.mattwaldmanrsp.com.